What's up guys, I'm Rip and this is my E3 2015 Day 1 recap. Now I know, this isn't my room, I've got my green screen set up, I'm too lazy to take it down, so I just threw up a virtual background thing, and that's what we're gonna have today. So first things first, what I really wanted to check out at E3 was Street Fighter 5. The first thing I went to, the lines were kind of long, so I didn't get to play too much, but from what I can tell so far, if you play Street Fighter games before, it's right up your alley. Street Fighter 5, of course, it's a bunch of new system mechanics. There's no more invincible backdash. The wake-up timing, hard knockdown system is all different. Throw attacks are different. There's no more plinking. They've got this new V meter where there are V skills, V counters, V triggers. Your super is what your ultra used to be in Street Fighter 4. But all that aside, when it comes down to it, the game is still Street Fighter. So if you guys are fans of Street Fighter, it's basically the same kind of engine that you're going to be looking at. I know a lot of people have talked about the game speed being a lot slower, but I've seen the comparison videos, and it basically, there's a video out there to show side by side that the game speed's roughly the same. But I think what it is that there are more frames of animation per attack, so since you can see more, it feels like it's a little bit slower. But other than that, the game plays fairly fine in terms of speed. The next thing I want to talk about is the graphics. Now, I know a lot of you guys, when you first saw the game, you said, wow, it just looks like Street Fighter 4, except maybe it's a little bit upgraded. But let me tell you, it is leaps and bounds above Street Fighter 4. And like most things that you see on YouTube, real life looks better. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is the Xbox One Elite controller. This is a new controller that they're releasing for the Xbox One. It's got paddles on the back, it's got steel components in it, but most importantly, what I was most interested in, they have this new D-pad that looks kind of like a satellite dish. They told me that it's probably better for fighting games, and I got to hold the controller, I got to try it out like by itself without playing a game on it. And just from the basic feel of it, I think they might actually be right. I think that this satellite dish may actually be a better controller for fighting games than the traditional Xbox D-pad. Now, if any of you guys have played Tekken on an Xbox D-pad, you know what I'm talking about. But the satellite dish, the big difference between the satellite dish and the traditional 4-directional on the D-pad is that diagonals are very clear. Like, there's a specific click you can feel in the diagonal part of the satellite dish. I know this is not making a lot of sense right now, but when you guys get to hold one and feel it for yourself, you'll know what I'm talking about. So the diagonals, basically, you can feel exactly where they are, whereas when you're using multiple directionals, it's kind of ambiguous. Like, am I hitting both directions together that hit my diagonal? That's a little bit ambiguous, but with the satellite dish thing, it's pretty spot on. So it's really interesting. I'm really looking forward to try that out later this year when it comes out. Let's move on to Tekken 7. More specifically, that Tekken 7 was not there. What does that mean? Well, if you're releasing a game for 2015, you would probably show it off at E3. So since Tekken 7 is nowhere to be found at E3 this year, I don't think we're seeing Tekken 7 on console this year. Bummer. I mean, there's still 2 days left of E3, so fingers crossed, maybe they'll make an announcement in the next 2 days. But more likely, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. And of course, if you go back to Harada's tweets, he said, look to history to see what the release date's like, and he specifically pointed out that, there's an arcade release, then there's an arcade revision, and then you get the console version. So far we have the arcade release, which is not complete yet because they're still adding on characters, and then after that we're going to get an arcade revision, something like Tekken 6 Bloodline Rebellion or Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection, and then we're going to have our console release. So since nothing was announced at E3 so far, it's looking like Tekken 7 will not be on consoles. Not be on consoles in 2015. Which basically pushes it out to 2016 at the earliest. At the earliest. Other than that, I really want to check out some of the VR stuff. I have an appointment set up to check out Morpheus on Thursday, and I'm going to try to see the summer lesson thing that Bandai Namco put together, so hopefully that's pretty good. I'm looking forward to it. I wanted to try out the Oculus as well because, as you guys know, I have the first generation Oculus, and the newest version, I tried actually the DK2, and the newest version is coming out next year, early next year, and they have that version at E3, so I want to try it out and see what it's like. Really excited about that as well. Other than that, I was at the Nintendo area. I tried out this Zelda game that was like a 3-player thing, which was kind of whatever, it's interesting for what it is. There's also a Metroid ball game, which is like an FPS where you're shooting at a ball to get into the opponent's goal. I wasn't too impressed with that because I feel like I played that in some kind of Unreal tournament 2004, 2007, maybe there's a mod, I'm not really sure, but I feel like I played that before. So so that wasn't too exciting for me. Other than that, that's pretty much it. You know, if you guys are interested in more Street Fighter V stuff, don't forget, if you pre-order the game, there will be beta access for it starting July 23rd, which is just 1 week after EVO, basically 1 month, 1 week away, and all of us can be playing Street Fighter V that soon. So to me, that's really exciting. I like playing fighting games when they're new. I feel like that's the best time to get into it. So I highly recommend anyone who's interested in playing Street Fighter V, you know, pick up Street Fighter 4 now if you don't already have it, because the game, the core gameplay is still going to be very similar. And then of course, you know, you'll get early access to Street Fighter V if you pre-order it, so you can do that, and you'll get to play Street Fighter V next month. So that's pretty crazy. Also, twitch.tv/Capcom Fighters and Capcom Unity are also streaming Street Fighter V from E3. I think the Capcom Fighters is going to be on pretty much the whole show, but Capcom Unity is only going to have a stream at noon every day with Combo Fiend and Mike Ross probably. So be sure to check those out as well. That's basically all I've got for you. I'll try to put out another recap video tomorrow and the day after. I'm probably going to spend most of my time playing Street Fighter V tomorrow, so hopefully I have a little bit more to tell you guys about it tomorrow. Other than that, you know, if you guys like the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace!